What's up, folks? Stu Myrick from the Sports Guys Talking Wrestling on the Horn. Hope you are doing well. I know it's been a couple weeks since we've been on video on YouTube and Twitch. Between Justin's play-by-play commitments and we were preempted a couple weeks ago for basketball, so it didn't make much sense to do that. To do a video stream. So, but hey, we'll be back. We're back this week, and Justin is on his way, hopefully. Hope you're doing well. We've got NXT 2.0 on the television. Braun Breaker making a challenge to Tommaso Ciampa for the NXT Championship and being confronted as we speak by Malcolm Bivens and members of the Diamond Mine. So, I don't know. I guess we're going to see Braun against one of the... I forget their last names. I'm still got to learn some of these guys' names. But anyway, we got a pretty good show. We'll recap what happened at NXT WarGames. Talk a little bit about what's happened in the rest of the wrestling world. Raw, SmackDown, AEW. That type of thing. We will be joined by Justin Bissonnette, a.k.a. Biss, the promoter for Inspire A.D., formerly known as Inspire Pro Wrestling, because they're coming back. They're coming back this Sunday. Oh, nice. So either Briggs or Jensen. I can't remember which one's which. Oh, the Creed brothers. Okay. I guess it's Jensen. He's wearing a Bad Street USA shirt. So give it up to Michael P.S. Hayes. The fabulous Freebirds. Let's see. So we got that. And then we'll cover what's happening in independent wrestling this weekend besides Inspire. And we'll touch on Ring of Honor's final battle. Could be the final battle for this era. If you didn't see it or hear it, last week talked to Brian Malonis, one half of the Bouncers, and you can check that out on our any via podcast provider, or you can see the video via YouTube, our YouTube channel. So you can check that out there. Let's see what else I got. Oh wow, he's here and early, and he's wearing his Inspire Pro shirt. All right, Justin, the Smash Simmons, enters the world headquarters. What's up, Justin?
Not much.
Hey, man.
How's it going with you?
It's going. Oh, yeah, I got to connect this to... Let's see. Let's do this. Here we are. Okay. Nice choice of the Inspire Pro t-shirt.
Still got one. Collectors.
They are.
Now.
They are. Absolutely.
That's in good shape, too. It still has, like, the gold speckles and everything.
It does look nice. Yeah. So how you been? How's everything been?
Well, I covered a kicking competition.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, you had mentioned something about that.
That was new, but it went well.
Yeah.
Yeah. Coach Brent Glab Rachoff. Yeah, I think that's how you say his last name.
Okay.
He has one of those difficult ones. But Coach Brent, yeah, good guy.
Okay. All right, cool.
He has something with Kicking World. Yeah, that's what he did. That's what he runs. So
Hey,
yeah,
why not?
It was the national showcase.
Okay.
Best. We saw your old pal though, Kada Klubnik out there.
My pal? I don't do Westlake football. I do like Travis.
Exactly. They're very.
Kate Klubnik plays for Westlake.
I know.
I mean, it's good to see him.
It was a joke.
Although he's a quarterback, not a kicker.
I know, but he was out there.
Oh, he was out there. Okay,
Yeah.
well, that's nice.
But it was a joke though.
They're getting ready for Katie this weekend for chance for the state championship in Arlington.
Because you don't sell my stuff, but yes.
No,
yes.
I don't. Yeah, Westlake and Katy. Let's see. When is that game? Westlake and Katy. I can tell you that, like Travis gets Galena Park North Shore Saturday at 3 p.m.
At?
It'll be at Kelly Reeves.
Ooh, okay. So you have to travel far.
No, I don't.
How nice
I
for
don't,
you, right?
I don't have to travel. I travel about 7 minutes. It's great. Well, I can't pull it up for some reason. All right. Well, whatever. Westlake and Katy, I forget where they are. Anyway, so but they're this Saturday as well. So we'll see what happens. Well, that's right. We're meeting the shaman. MSK's meeting the shaman.
Oh,
We don't know who the shaman is.
we all know who it is, dude. It's just their dealer.
Meet the shaman tonight. Okay. Well,
You know that's what it's going to be.
sure. Well, no, it's going to be like someone who is apparently well versed in tag team wrestling, which, still that covers a lot of ground. So,
But I mean, can you think of a guy that
speaking of tag teams, the NXT Tag Team Champions, Imperium.
Can you think of a guy that actually was a shaman?
Partel. Oh, they're there. A shaman?
Yeah, that was a manager. Or anything along those lines.
Well, there's Precious Paul. He's not a shaman, though.
Yeah, no. I'm talking about like shaman style character throughout the annals of pro wrestling history.
Not really.
Not one territory guy. I can't think of a single one that would have had that gimmick. I can't.
No.
I can't. I was just saying that you've seen a lot more wrestling in your lifetime than I've seen in mine. So
Not as like a shaman, no. I mean, you got managers that manage tag teams, obviously.
yeah, but I mean,
Precious-
no witch doctors.
Precious Paul, number one Paul Jones. No witch doctors. You only had what was it?
I mean, there had to be somebody.
Who did Charles Wright play? Was it? Oh, damn it, gum.
Papa Shango.
Thank you, Papa Shango. I couldn't think of the name to save my life.
Yeah, I thought there was somebody before that though that had that.
But that was a wrestler. He wasn't a manager.
No, I know. That's where again my question remains. So it's just like okay, it really
I don't
hasn't
think-
existed.
I don't know. So anyway, haven't seen you since then. So how was Thanksgiving?
Nice. Went home, saw one of my friends from high school.
Good.
Yeah, he lives in Nashville now, so that was new.
Nice.
And yeah, I mean, just besides the drive, I mean, all I've really done is been working since then. So it's just like, every gig that comes along, I have to end up taking.
Right.
Inflation. I mean, even Double Dave's doesn't have dollar pizza rolls anymore. Very disappointed to find that
That is
out.
disappointing.
If you're listening, Double Dave's, I'm on to you.
Bring back dollar pepperoni rolls.
Yeah, they're $1.25 now. That's how you know inflation's real. $1.25. It's like it's sacrilegious.
It is sacrilege.
Are you kidding?
Absolutely.
For 4 rolls,
Yeah.
you're missing out on an additional roll that you used to be able to get.
Yeah.
Blasphemy.
Well, at least you had a good Thanksgiving. So
yeah, I really can't complain.
good. We are scheduled to talk to Biss at 8:15.
Did you?
So, yeah, mine was good. Went over to the girlfriend's family, had a wonderful Thanksgiving meal, and watched football.
Is that the first time you've acknowledged that on this show?
What?
That
Did I have a girlfriend?
Yeah.
No, I've
Now, have
mentioned
we?
it before.
It's like, is it canon now?
Just kind of casually. I mean, it's
Oh.
But yeah.
Okay. I wasn't sure. I was like, the tape tells all.
Tape tells all. But I know. I think I've mentioned her at least once or twice. So anyway, let's do some. We'll talk some NXT WarGames. All right, here we go.
Hey, it's Peter Rosenberg from Hot 97 ESPN and the WWE. Ladies and gentlemen, you know what you're doing. You're tuned in. You're listening wrestling. You're talking wrestling. You're doing it with sports guys talking wrestling.
When they're not covering the sports world, they're talking about the world of professional wrestling.
It's Sports Guys Talking Wrestling.
Now, with Justin Simmons, here's Stu Myrick.
It is Sports Guys Talking Wrestling on the Horn. Stu Myrick, Justin the Smash Simmons back with me.
I know it's surprising.
It's been a couple weeks. Well, you've had play-by-play duties. You've had.
I know, but the talent that you've had in my steed, I was assuming that I just didn't have a job anymore. I've seen Drive to Survive. There's only 2 seats on this show. Occasionally, there's a third.
Well, you know, Dustin Rhodes has tried to replace you a few times.
I know, but I figured, the deal was done. I've seen how Reno works.
Let's see. I had Mike Sempervive. So thanks to Sempervive, I had.
You had the man. You had like whole Greca Nation on.
Oh yeah, had Dave LaGreca as well. It was good to talk to him. So yeah, but hey, we just can't replace you.
That's true. I do work for a much cheaper rate than most fellas guys.
You do. Did you see NXT WarGames?
I did.
Not Takeover. No Takeover, just WarGames.
It felt like a takeover, though.
Well, yeah, because it was. I mean, they just didn't call it Takeover. But NXT WarGames happened this past Sunday. I think the bulk of the show was to get the new Blood 2.0, whatever you want to call them, over.
Ooh, I'm glad you brought this up. I wanted to get this out of the way quickly. Because
yes.
When we go back in history, 5 years, 10 years down the line, and we look back at this period of WWE as a whole,
yes.
You know how they like to have the Attitude Era. You had the New Generation, Ruthless Aggression. I think this is going to be remembered as the time that WWE went indie. Like, this was their indie.
Went in? What do you mean went indie? Explain yourself.
What do you mean? Went independent. They went for a real independent feel. They tried to get independent darlings and really push them to the forefront.
You're talking about the era we just finished.
Yes.
Okay.
Like last night.
Gotta clear that up a moment.
Yeah, like last night.
So that was the end of the indie era.
That's essentially where I'm getting at.
Now, granted, you still have some of them on the main roster. But you're right. As far as NXT goes, yeah, that was more of get. We're doing away with the independent talent, the guys from Evolve and CZW and everywhere, and we're ushering in the era of bringing just athletes in,
and making them superstars.
Yeah, I see that, and then. Now, whether they're superstars or not remains to be seen. We'll have to, it still takes time. So,
but that's exactly what they've chosen to do with NXT 2.0. Is like this is the true minor league.
Yes,
under the eye of Vince.
Yeah, this is and we've said this before, but it bears repeating. This is no longer the third brand of WWE. No. This is back to being a purely a developmental brand that is made up mostly of athletes who may have, college athletes, may have had some time in pro sports, very little, if any, independent wrestling experience.
A question for you and all the listeners out there that are watching live and the ones that are going to be listening on the radio, better move for it to be a developmental brand instead of being a third brand?
Again, I think that remains to be seen. By the way, if you don't know this, besides being on the air Wednesday nights on the Horn, we live stream video on our YouTube and Twitch channels. So go to YouTube or Twitch, search Sports Guys Talking Wrestling. You'll find us, and we live stream video Tuesday nights, which is when we record this. So we're recording this on Tuesday night. I think that remains to be seen. because because you've still got some of the independent talent like Ciampa and LA Knight.
I
And,
wouldn't consider LA Knight independent dude though. He has that
He was-
WWE look.
well, he does, but I guess if anything, he spent most of his time in Impact.
Yeah.
He had a cup of coffee in the NWA, did some indie work, but he's a wrestler.
Yes, but
He's a wrestler. The Creed brothers from the Diamond Mine and some of these others that they've put in, for the most part, have not had extensive wrestling experience.
Well, yeah, definitely not.
Now we know Von Wagner, is the son of
one of the Beverly.
one of the
brothers.
Beverlys. Of course, Braun Breaker, the son of Rick Steiner, nephew of Scott Steiner.
There's a 33.33% chance
So
he might be the next NXT champion.
And in fact, we saw again. We're doing this on Tuesday night, so we saw Braun Breaker come out. He gave respect to the Team Black and Gold, if you will, but said, "Hey, Ciampa, we're 1-1, so I want a match for the title. So we'll see if that happens." Give me your overall impression of WarGames.
Pretty solid.
It was pretty solid.
I was really impressed with the main event. I thought the men's wargame match was excellent. Spots.
It was good.
Entertaining.
Yeah.
I mean, you couldn't have asked for more, I think, to have a true passing of the torch moment brand-wise for NXT.
Yeah.
And that's why when I stopped this kind of at the very beginning before we got into it, I was like, no, I think this is now the true, hey, we're just looking to build superstars in our
we're starting
respective
it. Yeah.
mold.
Again, we got to wait and see what happens. But yes, we're starting that now.
But I personally think it's a better idea that it's now just a pure developmental.
I kind of agree with that. I will say it has lost a little of the luster, for lack of a better term, from not having all the independent talent. But again, if you're trying to position it as purely a developmental tool and not a third brand, then it's okay. That makes sense. So
yeah, this is no longer
oh dear Lord. Duke Hudson walking in with a blonde wig because he's the one that got shaved.
That's right.
Thanks to Cameron Grimes. Yeah, the matches were good. You had the team of Raquel Gonzalez, Io Shirai, Kaylee Ray, and Cora Jade beating up Toxic Attraction and Dakota Kai. Jade, so Jade was, favoring her shoulder after that moonsault off the top of the cage, and she ended up getting the pin. So, which was nice, but I don't know. It felt more like it was purely the luck of just being in the right spot at the right time. Which hey, that happens.
But that's realistic, though.
I guess it just I don't know. It didn't feel. I don't know. Anyway,
I'm okay with it.
Yeah.
I was okay with it.
Imperium are still your NXT Tag Team Champions. They defeat Kyle O'Reilly and Von Wagner, and then after the match, Von Wagner tries to attack Kyle O'Reilly, and Kyle O'Reilly just beat the snot out of him.
Yeah.
John Adam flashed the Undisputed Era hand sign, which made you think he was probably going to go for something. And in fact, early on NXT tonight, Tuesday night, they had the cage match. Von Wagner gets the win, beats up Kyle O'Reilly. And Kyle O'Reilly's contract is allegedly it's up.
Mm-hmm. That's what I've heard.
So, the big question besides Johnny Gargano is this Kyle O'Reilly's last night on NXT and in the WWE? From the way it looks like it. Looks like he's out.
Which is great, I
And
guess, for him.
Who knows? Maybe we'll see him next week in Garland at AEW.
I mean, that's the big question. It's just like it's a much different landscape now for
It
a
is.
lot of these people that are getting released or deciding to turn down the contract extension or sign a new deals. That it's not as wide open as it used to be. You heard me refer to F1, and you know how the seating works there. You get only 2 drivers per team.
Yeah, 2 drivers per team.
And there's only so many slots. There's only 20 drivers. You know, it's hard to break through. So it's kind of like now.
So then, you gotta. It's hard, and so
pictures are looking good in AEW already. Storylines look solid. It would be hard to just like instigate yourself.
Well, I mean, Kyle O'Reilly could go there and instantly be attached to Bobby Fish again, reunite Red Dragon. Even hook him up with him and Adam Cole, kind of an Undisputed Era reunion, be the original trio, because it was before Roderick Strong joined them. So it would be the original 3. So you could do that.
I guess may ask, like, I guess it's just an interesting question. But this like, do you just want to see like rehashed acts in AEW? Or like, I don't know. Like I mean, sometimes I like it in WWE and sometimes I don't. But I feel that AEW is trying to go in such a different direction. But they're really good about calling back their history between their teams. I just don't know. Like, is that too much or is it too little?
Well, Bobby Fish comes out to the Red Dragon entrance music.
Yeah.
So as far as Fish and O'Reilly go, they were a successful tag team. Besides being NXT Tag Team Champions, they were Ring of Honor Tag Team Champions, IWGP Junior Heavyweight Tag Team Champions.
Yeah, they did it all.
I don't see that as a rehash. I see that as
just putting
together something that should have never been torn apart in the first place.
All right.
So
enough.
I mean, and there are certain acts. Yeah, you don't like. We talked forever about the former Braun Strowman, Adam Scherr now. Would they do the same thing in wherever he end up that they did in WWE? And well, I don't think good. He's lost quite a bit of weight.
Yeah, he looks way different now.
Same thing with Bray Wyatt or Wyndham Rotunda or whatever you want to call him. I don't think you could do the same. You can't do the Fiend again. That's and part of me is kind of. I think part of me is okay with that, but again, I wasn't a fan of the Fiend anyway. So, you could do something kind of creepy, but not I don't know. Anyway, speaking of Roderick Strong, he successfully defended the NXT Cruiserweight Championship, beating Joe Gacy. It was a lot of talk about if they were going to put that title on Joe Gacy, it could be the beginning of the end of the Cruiserweight division in WWE. Mm-hmm. And I'm not sure it's still not on its way out because, I don't know, it just doesn't feel the same, but we'll see.
Well, it's kind of just saying if this is going to be a true rebrand and a true developmental for WWE with this new NXT, you really don't need cruiserweights because Vince just doesn't really care for cruiserweights.
Yes, you're right.
So why spend any time on it? And no disrespect to cruiserweights. I mean, that's what I would wrestle as. I mean, I'm never going to be a heavyweight, but it's just that's not their MO.
Yeah, that's the way it is. And then the main event, the men's match, Team 2.0 getting the win over Team Black and Gold.
That was so fun, though.
Yeah, it was a fun match. It was good. All in all, it was a good show. As I said, Kyle O'Reilly looks like he's on his way out. We will, I guess, and we are waiting to hear from Johnny Gargano, although the fact that he's going to be, quote, telling everything on NXT leads me to believe he's re-signing with NXT.
Yeah, I mean that's what I would think too, but I guess there's still time to find out at least.
Well, they haven't done the segment yet, so we'll see.
Did you like all the DIY callbacks throughout their tag?
Oh, that was fun.
And his throwback entrance music and everything.
The entrance music. He had pieces of previous gear sewn together. It was really cool. It was really cool to do that. So, all in all, I think like you said, it was kind of that was the send off for the Black and Gold, and now we're on to NXT 2.0 and, everything that carries.
The
So we'll see.
future.
The future. SmackDown, you had Brock Lesnar come out, and then Sami Zayn came out.
Yes.
That
was great.
That might have been the most personality I've seen out of Brock Lesnar in years.
Oh, it was terrific.
It was.
It was so
was
good.
funny.
Just a couple of Canadian alpha males.
That's it. In the end, Brock just beats the snot out of Sami Zayn. Three or four German suplexes, couple F5s, and then Roman comes out, spears him, retains the title. You're now going to have Brock versus Roman at day one.
As we should.
If you believe the rumor and innuendo, this will be the first of at least 2 or 3 matches.
Nice.
So
I'm down.
I would suspect Roman will keep the title at day one via shenanigans.
I'm still waiting for that Paul Heyman heel turn or double heel turn or double turn. I still think he's going to turn on Reigns at some point.
So you think he'll side with Brock?
Oh yeah,
it's possible. Yeah, that was fun. I'll be honest. Outside of that, SmackDown felt a little like Monday Night Raw.
Yeah,
it was kind of all over the place.
Yeah.
Plus, I saw a stat. So, on I guess was it this past Friday? There were in the 2-hour SmackDown, there was 16 minutes of actual wrestling.
Oh, I totally believe that. Doesn't surprise
Then you
me.
go to Rampage. Their first match went 18.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that's kind of, I don't know. It just makes you scratch your head.
Not really. One's a wrestling show, and the other one's a show about
I get that.
yeah, a company that puts on a wrestling show.
Yeah. Monday Night Raw. Maybe, and you're younger, so maybe you get this. Explain to me the thing with Vince McMahon and Austin Theory, because I'm watching that thing and I'm going, what the hell are we supposed to get out of this?
Yeah, I really don't know either, but it just makes me seem that Vince might think that Austin Theory is the next superstar for the brand, and that he might be taking that type of, the spot that was supposed to be for like Ken Kennedy and all those other guys, kind of similar.
Drew McIntyre at one time.
Yeah, so I think he's the new guy, and that he's really just trying to give him that last final rub that Vince, Father Time catches us all, but this might be his last chance to make that one final WWE superstar.
Okay.
And he's willing to take whatever chance that he needs to. And I'm all for more Vince McMahon on WWE television until he's gone.
Okay, so that's where I'll disagree. I am for Vince McMahon staying away from WWE TV as much as possible. But that's just me.
Nah, he gets to go out on his own terms. We wouldn't even be talking about this on this radio show if it wasn't for Vince McMahon.
Hey, it's LA Night. Then they did this thing. They started Raw with, it was Big E and Kevin Owens in a cage. And Big E gets the win. And then Seth Rollins attacks.
Yeah.
Was it Big E and then Kevin, then Big E gets Seth, and then here comes Bobby Lashley and attacks all 3 of them during a commercial break, by the way.
Yes.
So are we going to – I really hope we're not about to make this a 4 corners match at day one.
That seems plausible because it is like not a major pay-per-view, but you need something to fill the time.
And I talked with Dave LaGreca last week. I get the sneaky suspicion they're gonna take the title off Big E
already.
Yeah, it just something. There's something that it just feels like they're gonna take the title off of him, and I don't know. I don't know. There's something.
I don't see that just yet.
I don't know. Maybe.
I think you're doing what I normally do with every other aspect of my life, and that's kind of see all the negatives before looking at any of the positives. I think right now he's done okay.
We'll see. I mean, I'd love to see him keep the title at least through the Royal Rumble and maybe even through WrestleMania.
I think he defends that at WrestleMania.
I hope so. Switching to AEW, All Elite Wrestling. So we were talking. It was so funny. We were talking last week about Hangman Adam Page defending the world title against Bryan Danielson, and I had the thought that they would do it at Battle of the Belts.
Mm-hmm.
They wouldn't wait all the way to Revolution, but maybe they do it at the Battle of the Belts. Well, then they announce, oh no, we're going to do it next Wednesday night in Garland at Winter is Coming.
Yeah.
Is that too soon?
Nah. This is the company that likes to give fans their dream matches. And, you know, when you really think about how pro wrestling works, it's just like an NFL football season, right? Except there's no off season. And injuries do happen. You never know when, but you know that they will occur at some point. So if you can get this match in now, get it in now, because you just never know what's going to happen.
Don't get me wrong. I mean, look, I'm considering going up to Garland for the show. And so, yeah, I'd love to see it.
Exactly.
It just feels like it almost feels a little like they're hot-shotting it. But
they have to, though. I mean, Danielson's no young guy. You want to get in this match while he's still in his best form.
right.
And it's better to get this out of the way now, because I still feel that Danielson is so over that they could have easily given him the title and kind of prolonged the Cowboy stuff from happening, and it would have still been okay with the crowd, because Danielson is having the second rejuvenation of his career, probably surpassing CM Punk. Like, I know people are happy to see Punk, but I think people are more thrilled to see like the uncensored, unleashed wrestling version of Bryan Danielson.
I think there's definitely an argument for that. So we'll see. I mean, hey, like I said, it's set for next Wednesday night. AEW Dynamite Winter is Coming. It's going to be in Garland at the Curtis Culwell Center. I think I'll be there. So, hey, why not? So, let's see what else.
Can I ask you a question real quick?
Yes.
Do you feel that like Hangman is kind of like the second coming of Magnum TA, but this is like what would have happened if Magnum never got hurt? Like, this guy is so over naturally.
I can see that.
He's got the build. Like,
yeah, he's definitely got the build. I think he might be just slightly smaller than Magnum.
Yeah, but
he's
got a good promo.
But he's got the good promo. He's got the profile.
Yeah, he's got the look.
I could see that. Yeah, a little bit.
That's what I get. I went back and watched.
I mean, there's a lot. You know, that's one of the big what ifs in the history of pro wrestling is, what if Magnum TA does not get into that car wreck? You know, because everybody you talk to say he was being groomed to win the world title.
Yeah,
from Flair. So, yeah, I could see that. Sure. So, we're going to take a quick time out. When we come back, for the first time in almost 2 years, Inspire After Dark is coming back. We'll talk to Justin Bissonnette, Biss, about Bastards Don't Get Christmas Presents. That's coming up next. Sports Guys Talking Wrestling.
I'm trying to make an NFT. Are we talking about NFTs on this show?
NFTs?
Yeah.
You're trying to make one?
Basically.
Your doodles?
Yeah.
Meanwhile, we got Carmelo Hayes and Dexter Lumis.
I did like that spot, too, by the way. Did you?
What?
The Dexter,
of Dexter coming out from under the ring?
That was
great.
Of
course.
That was amazing. Yes, the little silent nod. Like, that character works so well.
He does. It's funny.
But like in a really...
But it is kind of, and you know, doing the thumbs up to Johnny. So, I mean, we still wait and see what Johnny Gargano will say. If they save it to the end of the show, he's re-signing.
You think so?
Oh, God, yeah. Yeah, I mean, it's...
But like when you say he re-signs...
It's just after 8 p.m. Central here, so...
It's like, why stay... Because, I mean, he could only stay in NXT, right? Like, you wouldn't move up.
Well, I've heard that there is talk about him possibly going to the main roster.
Like,
I mean, he's done everything in NXT that there is to do.
I know, but
so
I wouldn't mind seeing him on the main roster in the sense that you always need guys that can work in the mid card.
Right, but yeah, he's never going to be. Yeah, he's not going to be WWE champion or Universal champion.
No, unless he gets like the second wind and a Daniel Bryan push and somehow breaks the mold, but I just don't see that happening anytime soon.
Yeah.
That's no disrespect to him. That's just like what the company's
That's what they
looking at.
do. Yeah.
Yeah.
So.
But no, I was thinking about your Twitter thing, your tweet earlier about the WWE and their NFTs. So I was all like, oh, I was joking with the guys last night that I play soccer with. I was like, oh, I'm going to just make myself
I don't
an NFT.
get the whole NFT thing.
I wish I could explain it to you also. I can't either, but that's why I'm trying to draw my own here.
It's
and
like
sell it.
I don't get it, and so whatever. Well, the last thing I tweeted was name, image, likeness. They've instituted where they call it next in line program.
Yeah.
So they're gonna sign college athletes that are still in college.
Not a bad idea.
Which, hey, that's what they did with Gable Steveson. He's the result of that. He's still at Minnesota. So they're looking to do that with others. So it'll be interesting to see who they get in that program. Because it won't just be wrestlers. It won't just be football players. It'll be from all of college athletics. So, and of course, it'll be men and women.
Yeah, so former gymnasts, all that's in play.
Yeah, so it'll be interesting to see how they fill their roster with that and how many of them make it and all that good stuff.
I think WWE is kind of like Jerry Jones sometimes, where they really just want to be the ones that discover the next talent themselves and say, "Hey, we built this."
Yeah, I think that's part of it. Now, there's a small part of me that thinks that eventually WWE is going to realize, we can't fill our roster completely. We gotta start looking at the indies again. So, I don't know. Like I said, I'm wondering what that's going to look like. Say, give it like 5-6 years and see where things are. I don't know. I do not know. So, Nightmare Alley with Bradley Cooper. Ooh. Looks creepy.
Is he say you down to watch or what?
No. Looks creepy. So yeah. But yeah, and that's where I get what WWE wants to do with NXT. And for the most part, I kind of agree with it, but there's, getting talent that is like totally green, that's going to mean a lot of development.
Yeah.
I mean, you're not going to get these guys that wrestle. They just don't wrestle the WWE way. You're getting people that don't wrestle. So you're going to teach them a headlock, teach them a back bump. You're going to, we're going to have to go to like the uber basic stuff.
But yeah, I mean, you only need a few things to wrestle the style that WWE needs.
True.
Anyways. So
I get you.
You don't have to master a whole 1,000 play playbook. You only have to nail 25 and do it the way they want it. And that's it. And you're good. You're solid. So in some cases, and it goes for almost everything, right? It's easier to train somebody than to like have to break down the old habits and then retrain them.
And then retrain, right. And I get that. And that's, that's fine. That's why you have AEW and Impact and New Japan and the NWA and Major League Wrestling and even the big indies like AEW and Game Changer.
But that's why I brought up what I said beforehand. And it's like, when I really sat there and thought about it today, I'm like, I hate to say it, but this is a brilliant move by WWE. They are going back to square one. Their whole MO when Vince took over and took them national was always to have that head turner. Those guys that, you see them in the airport and you have to look at them. But
you also got to remember, it was a different era then. Back in the 80s, everybody was big. And he didn't have to worry about getting college athletes because he was just plucking people out of the territories. Mid-South, world class, Missouri, Florida, whatever.
Yeah, those guys were already ready.
So they were, you like I'm watching Mid-South, and all of a sudden Junkyard Dog's not on Mid-South anymore because he's now with Vince. He's working in New York. So this is get somebody who was, we'll say a defensive lineman for, Texas or OU or Ohio State, and turn them into I guess we'll use the term sports entertainer.
Yeah.
And, we'll see. It will definitely differentiate and maybe even further separate WWE from pro wrestling.
Well, that's kind of my point there, though. It's just that they know that they're not going to compete with AEW at their own game. And it's not going to be the in-ring work that separates WWE from any of these other companies.
Yeah.
But go back to what has always sold this company. And like we talk about really great matches over time, right? But those matches are usually linked up with amazing stories. You think about the Randy Savage, Hulk Hogan storyline, the whole thing, the Mega Powers all the way to the match that leads up to it.
Yeah.
You think about the story that led up to Steamboat versus Savage at WrestleMania 3 with the Larynx and all the revenge. The best WWE wrestling has always come from their storylines and their storytelling. Everything from the days of Austin. I mean, Austin versus Rock, how bad he needed to win at at WrestleMania 17. To the way they produced all that. I mean, that's what I think of when I think of WWE. Not, oh, this was a 5-star match.
Right. No, I get you. It's, they're not, they want moments now. Not matches. They just want moments.
Good point. Good way of putting it.
Yeah. So I get that.
But I'm okay with that because that's what they are. And if I want to watch in-ring, hardcore, 20 minutes of high octane and people are going to break
then you tune into AEW.
Yeah. They're going to get up after getting a pile driver and a chair shot onto the steel steps. I'm still not over that one from, what was it, Revolution?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, remember she got hit with the chair, but her head was against the steel steps, and then she still kicked out. After she went through all the punishment prior to that in that Britt Baker match. And I was like, really? Come on. Like, the pin could have came right there, and it would have been justified.
It could have been, yeah. You're right.
That's my only thing with AEW sometimes.
They gotta start actually selling moves, which,
But that's an art within itself.
It is an art, so I guess Dexter Lumis won this match because Trick Williams tried to get Carmelo Hayes out of the Lumis sleeper hold or whatever.
So should I try to give Brett kind of like the open mouth look, or should I give him just like a closed stare, like Hitman regular look?
Oh, that's going to be Brett?
Yeah.
I don't know. I guess you could do
a little placard on the jacket and stuff. I'm working on that.
Yeah.
It's hard to do with just one color, honestly. It's just a doodle.
Just a doodle.
I think Bret Hart would appreciate the doodles more than anybody else because he's like the one that would always draw stuff.
Sure. Let me give Biss a call and see if he's ready. Oh, let's see who the shaman is. Okay, we're seeing a light. It is. Oh, it's Riddle.
This is great. I told you it was their dealer.
So Riddle is the shaman. Okay. I guess because he's one half of the Raw Tag Team Champions. Sure.
Yeah, that's nice. I'm down. I'm totally down.
Sure.
That's good. That's good crossover stuff,
not?
though.
Why not? All right. Let me give Biss a call. Yep. Well, let's try this again.
Hey, Stu.
Biss, what's up, man?
What's good, man?
I'm good, man. You ready for Sunday?
Oh, dude, you have no idea. Fucking 2 years, man.
I imagine. All right, we're going to do an intro, and I'll bring you right in, okay?
Cool.
All right, here we go. Back here on Sports Guys Talking Wrestling on the Horn, Stu Myrick, Justin the Smash Simmons. January 19th, 2020 was
Where were you?
Inspire Pro Wrestling, the new Ecstasy of Gold, and we were getting ready to send guys to Tampa, and then the world shut down for COVID-19. And it's stayed shut down, but things are starting to open up. Things are coming back. And now, almost 2 years later, Inspire After Dark makes its triumphant return this Sunday at the Yellow Jacket Social Club. And to help us break it all down is the man behind Inspire A.D. Joining us now on the Vaqueros Cafe and Cantina hotline. He is the lead promoter. It is Justin Bissonnette, a.k.a. Biss. Follow him on Twitter at Biss Says. Biss, I am so glad to talk to you, my friend.
Man, you took me like through the emotional roller coaster of like the past 2 years with that intro, man. Like the music was good. And then
Sammy Guevara, a big part of the history of Inspire. So go back, as I said, 2020. You know we had that double shot weekend with Inspire and Game Changer Wrestling and all that good stuff, and we were getting ready to send guys to the collective in Tampa, part of WrestleMania weekend, and then COVID shuts everything down. And it has been shut down for Inspire since then. So I guess the first thing is, why now?
It's happened very quickly. Like this kind of this opportunity kind of fell in our lap, and it's the most nervous I've been before a show in a long time. Like probably since the first year that we ran Inspire. The vaccine and the booster shot definitely helps, but this is an outdoor venue, and it's one that we feel comfortable running at. So that definitely helps out too. And it was getting to be time. You know, we really wanted to make sure that we did this the safest way possible. We were able to kind of sit back and look at what other people did. I was able to attend some shows and say, okay, I sort of like this. I sort of still have concerns about that. And we basically we got to a point where, you know, the safety and what we needed to be in place to run the show, this venue kind of took care of. You know, it's an outdoor venue. We know that has a major part in it. And then just vaccine levels have slowly risen, right? So we're to the point where we're comfortable that, you know, if our fan base is vaxxed up and masked up, we're comfortable with running the show now. So, and then just the opportunity to have, you know, kind of a pop-up show in a show that's going to support the Yellow Jacket Social Club, which a lot of our fans frequent. A lot of our fans from that area maybe work there or work nearby. So it's just a kind of a perfect storm for us to come back.
As far as talent goes, I mean, we've had so many people coming through the doors of Inspire, and now they're signed, whether it's to WWE or AEW or Impact or whatever. And it seems like now we're having another resurgence of, I guess, talent that is available to the indies. the card that we have on Sunday looks very Texas centric. Was there talk of bringing in somebody from beyond Texas?
A little bit. I mean, Texas is this hot territory now. Like, a weird thing happened to Texas wrestling during the pandemic where, guys like New Texas Pro and guys like Heavy Metal really kind of took the flag and ran hard and, caught a lot of attention. I like to think that we put in a lot of work. That weekend with GCW was big as far as getting attention on the Texas guys. But you saw a lot of guys really come up during that time and get a lot of attention. Guys like Mysterious Q and Gina Medina. And then, above all, a guy like Brian Keith, which you'll see in our main event. So for us, it was sort of like we had to sit back on the sidelines after, we put in 7 years of work of trying to get the Texas territory noticed. And I think we had some success in certain ways, but to see it blow up and have to sit on the sidelines, we really kind of wanted to get in and be able to kind of play with those new shiny toys, if you will. I mean, as you know, I take influence from a lot of different places. I have my, Gary Hart and Paul Bosch are some of my, people that I try to emulate, but I'm also a huge football fan. So, guys like Bill Nunn and, guys like that, I always have admired like the scouting aspect and finding that next talent. So to be able to look at all these talented guys and go out and pick some guys, I don't think Inspire will ever be the company that we're not trainers, right? We're not like Booker. We can't take someone technically to the next level, but to be able to find that talent that we know will reach that next level with an opportunity that's always going to be part of our DNA. And I think this roster kind of, I hope, and I really see a lot of promise in, will be those next stars that you see on TV one day.
Biss, I have a couple of questions for you. First
Go
off,
ahead.
let me ask you, how will Inspire A.D. differ from Inspire Pro?
It's an interesting question. Like, we definitely knew that we were going to be different when we came back, which was a big part of the rebranding. And like, it's a weird yin and yang. Like, we did the podcast, and I think from the podcast you can tell, like, me and Max have some very differing, ideas of what pro wrestling is and what creative is, and then there's certain stuff we agree on. So it's always like this organic kind of growing thing. So I mean, it seems like I'm avoiding the question, but I honestly do think it's a time will tell type thing. We know that it won't be the same. So it's definitely going to be different, strap in, but it's not going to be drastically different. We're still going to sell you the most passionate, talented people that we can find.
Let me give you the follow-up question now. So how does it feel to know that you are basically like the last bastion for pro wrestling in Austin, Texas? Because nobody else is really running the city, and your show that's coming up is filling a massive void that this town has had for a couple of years now.
It's a lot of pressure, man. It's honestly a lot of pressure because I take that extremely seriously. Austin, when I first started getting involved with wrestling, Austin was just a student show, and like it was, there was maybe 10 or 15 people in the crowd, so like no one saw Austin. And then with my work with Anarchy Championship Wrestling, I was able to see kind of that there were fans here in Austin, and there were people that wanted to see pro wrestling in Austin, so to be sort of the last pro wrestling company left running, with their home base in Austin, it's a huge responsibility. We've got to make sure that we don't let anybody down, man. And that's all. That'll always be the number one priority for us.
Well, that'll lead us to Sunday. Inspire After Dark presents Bastards Don't Get Christmas Presents. For all the the newness and everything, still come up with some of the craziest titles. By the way, it is this Sunday. Yellow Jacket Social Club is at 1704 East 5th Street here in Austin. Bell time 3 p.m. Like you said, it's an outdoor venue, which will be great. You mentioned Brian Keith. He's in the main event. He's taking on Jay Serious to crown the first Lawless Darkness champion. Now, up until 2 years ago, Lawless Darkness was like a status where, you go for a year, you didn't have to abide by the rules. But now it's going to be an actual championship. Talk for a moment about this main event and what you expect to see from Jay Serious and Brian Keith.
Yeah, it was a prize and a status that we felt we needed to give an actual title to actually fully represent what we thought that it could be. So Brian Keith is someone that I've been very high on. He was a name that would pop up before the pandemic, as far as, okay, could we get Brian Keith in here? Would Brian Keith fit in this spot? And to kind of have him on our radar and then watch him grow, and when the spotlight shined on him, how he reacted, and not be able to be part of that, it just ate us up. So we knew when we came back, one of the main people we wanted was Brian Keith. And then the other person is someone that's been with us since show number one, the opposite side. I'm not going to say there's a B side of this matchup, but Jay Serious has been there since day one with Inspire. His accolades speak for themselves. Former Inspire Pro champion, and this is a matchup that has not happened in the last 3 years. So it really kind of symbolizes also the change over the last 2 years, 3 years in Texas wrestling, and a chance to see, okay, both these guys have grown in different ways. Let's see what this looks like now.
It sounds like a great main event. And to be clear, if I remember correctly, so all the Inspire Pro or Inspire AD championships are vacant. That's the Inspire AD champion, the Pure Prestige championship, Twin Dragon Connection champions, the Undefinable championship. All those are vacant, right?
That is correct. So part of our business coming back will be, filling those championships again.
And did you ever get the Undefinable belt back from Cody Lane?
I do not. So if anyone I don't even know where Cody is these days, but if you come across Cody Lane and you are able to pin him and get that green belt, there is a reward out there for it. So,
I think he's in England. Maybe I'll reach out to Simon Miller, see if he can get something, maybe get the What Culture guys. You also got...
Man, I'll take it. I love those English guys.
I know. Rachel Rose taking on Heather Monroe. You got a triple threat, Nathan Bradley, ASF, and Pistolero. That should be a great match. And then a 6-person tag. Great Scott, Killa Kate, and Aaron Merson taking on Vert Vixen, Prince Adam, and T-Ray. 4 matches. It'll be a great afternoon of wrestling. And for all the newness of Inspire AD, I'm sure it'll still have the things that made Inspire what it is, right?
Absolutely. The heart and soul of Inspire. I hope that you guys, still see through it. It's still gonna have that passion, man. At the end of the day, we're gonna sell passion until we run out of business. So that's gonna be the main thing that we try to convey.
It's Inspire AD presents Bastards Don't Get Christmas Presents this Sunday at the Yellow Jacket Social Club, 1704 East 5th Street here in Austin. Bell time 3 p.m. He is Justin Bissonnette. Follow him on Twitter at BissSays. See him this Sunday at Bastards Don't Get Christmas Presents. Biss, man, it's good to talk to you. I'm so excited for Inspire AD to come back. I'm looking forward to the show. Good luck on Sunday, and I'll see you then.
See you then, man. I appreciate it. Y'all take care. Have a good one.
All right, that was good. All right, this will air tomorrow night, and it'll be on the podcast and all that good stuff. All right?
Awesome, man. Appreciate it.
All right, man.
Thanks for thinking of those.
I'll see you on Sunday.
Good luck, man.
See you Sunday, man. We're back, dude. We're fucking back.
Sounds good, man. All right.
Take care.
Talk to you later. Bye-bye. Look, I am so excited. I've been doing the commentary for the Road to Wrestling Academy, did a little bit with AAPW, but I mean, Inspire gave me my first commentary gig.
Yeah, Inspire's home for you.
It's the home promotion, and couldn't be more thrilled for Inspire A.D. to make their triumphant return this Sunday. So make sure you get out there and support the independent wrestling here in Austin, here in the ATX. So we're going to take a quick time out. When we come back, we'll let you know other independent wrestling that is happening around the state. Plus, Ring of Honor is having their final battle. It might be their final battle. We'll touch on it next on Sports Guys Talking Wrestling on the Horn. That was good. And Biss is so good. I saw him. I saw Biss. When did we have? I guess maybe a month or two ago. New Japan Strong was up in Garland, and he was there. So he and I chatted for a bit, and it was good to see him. So looking forward to reuniting, so to speak, with the. We got Cora Jade and Raquel Gonzalez coming after Toxic Attraction. 2-on-3, but Raquel Gonzalez is kind of big, so she makes up for it.
I was gonna say it kind of evens out.
She's very statuesque.
No, that's a good way to describe it.
Yes. Yeah. So.
I'm really gonna wait till the end for this whole Johnny Gargano thing, right?
Yeah, which makes, like I said, I'm thinking he's staying. So this is the thing for Tiffany Stratton, which is supposed to be like a daddy's rich girl or something like that, rich daddy's girl.
Oh yeah,
and
gymnast looking person.
Yes, well, she was shown playing tennis and shopping and other stuff, and she's an Olympian.
Yeah.
Ooh, interesting.
Yeah,
okay.
we're trying to get like real athletes. Remember?
Yeah. All right.
They don't want guys that look like me.
So 2016. Okay, sure.
I'm down. I'm sold.
Why not? All right, let's wrap this up. Here. Hey, Tony D'Angelo. Hey, all right. Gotta meet you for a moment. Here on Sports Guys Talking Wrestling on the Horn, Stu Myrick, Justin the Smash Simmons. There's a little bit of independent wrestling happening outside of Austin, but throughout the state of Texas that we got to let you know about. And it's going to start. There we go. It's going to start in Houston area. Reality Wrestling has 2 events this weekend. We'll start Friday night. They have the Booker T's Christmas Chaos Toy Drive Friday night at the George R. Brown Convention Center in Houston. Bell time is 7 p.m. You get entrance into the show by bringing an unwrapped toy to donate. Gino Medina will be there, Promise Braxton, Hyon, and more. That's Booker T's Christmas Chaos Toy Drive Friday night in Houston. And then Reality Wrestling presents Christmas Chaos Night 2 Saturday at the Booker T's World Gym Arena in Texas City. Bell time 7 p.m. Will Allday, Rex Andrews, Fly Def, and more. That's Christmas Chaos Night 2 Saturday in Texas City. Mission Pro Wrestling and Hybrid School of Wrestling joining up to bring you Silver Bells Saturday at the Salvation Army in San Antonio. Bell time 7:30 p.m. The proceeds will benefit Salvation Army and the Boys and Girls Club of San Antonio. Thunder Rosa will be there. Holiday, La Rosa Negra, Jasmine Allure, and more. That's Mission Pro Wrestling and Hybrid School of Wrestling Silver Bells Saturday in San Antonio. And then World Class Revolution Pro Wrestling presents Christmas Star Wars Saturday at Southern Junction in Irving. Bell time 7 p.m. Mick Foley, the Hall of Famer, will be there. Charlie Haas, Jacob Fatu, Moonshine Mantell, and more. That's World Class Revolution, Saturday in Irving. And that's a look at independent wrestling around the area. Wherever you may be, make sure you go out and support independent wrestling. Ring of Honor, this Saturday night, bring you Final Battle. It may be their final battle as they finish up this era of Ring of Honor. Coming to you from the Chesapeake Employers Insurance Arena in Baltimore. 8 p.m. Eastern, 7 p.m. Central. You can see it on pay-per-view, Fight TV, Ring of Honor Honor Club. Right, the card looks like this. Bandito will defend the Ring of Honor World Championship against Jonathan Gresham. Jonathan Gresham making the transition from the Pure Division to the World Title Division. OGK, Matt Taven, and Mike Bennett will defend the Ring of Honor World Tag Team Championships against the team that's been there since day one, the Briscoes, Jay and Mark. They're already the GCW Tag Team Champions. Now they want to add those Ring of Honor straps for a 12th time. You've got a six-man tag, Brody King, Homicide, and Tony Deppen, Violence Unlimited, taking on Hot Sauce Tracy Williams, Taylor Rust, and Eli Isom. Should be a great match. Roxy will defend the Ring of Honor Women's World Championship against Willow Nightingale. Josh Woods will defend the Pure Championship against Brian Johnson. Dalton Castle has got a tall order. He's going to defend the World Television Championship in a four-way match against Rhett Titus, Silas Young, and Joe Hendry, man that he used to tag with.
Yeah.
You got a Fight Without Honor, Shane Taylor taking on Kenny King. Meanwhile, the rest of Shane Taylor Promotions will defend the Ring of Honor six-man tag team titles against the Righteous. Dragon Lee taking on Ray Orris. You got a six-woman tag, Chelsea Green and the Hex, who I think are still the NWA Women's World Tag Team Champions. Allison Kay and Marty Bell, they will face the Allure, Angelina Love and Mindy Leon, along with Miranda Alize. And then they will have a pre-show, hour one, whatever, they will show free on their YouTube channel as well as on Honor Club with a wild card 10-man tag team match. So that's Ring of Honor Final Battle this Saturday in Baltimore, 8 p.m. Eastern, 7 p.m. Central. Get it on pay-per-view, get it on Fight TV, or on Ring of Honor Honor Club. And we will see how Ring of Honor ends this era. You know, Kerry Silk going to be there because that's in his neck of the woods. So
I mean, it's his baby. He can't not miss that.
Absolutely. It's if you missed it last week, I had Brian Malonis from Ring of Honor, one half of the Bouncers. They call him Kingpin. And we talked for a bit about that, and a lot of those guys, whether it's Jonathan Gresham or Matt Taven or Dalton Castle or any of those guys, they have such a long history with Ring of Honor, and and again, I mean, I mentioned it before, how whenever they would come to Texas, or if I was in WrestleMania weekend, they would do their Supercard of Honor. They were always ready to welcome me and let me hang out and talk to people, and it was always a lot of fun to cover Ring of Honor events.
Well, I mean, you just got to look at the WWE now. If it isn't for Ring of Honor, you don't have those guys that are at the top of WWE. Without them, you don't have
Kevin Owens, a.k.a. Kevin Steen, Seth Rollins, a.k.a. Tyler Black. You got Ring of Honor talent. Sami Zayn, a.k.a. El Generico.
Yeah, there's a lot of guys that came through Ring of
A
Honor.
lot of talent.
That aren't there anymore, but they're still like the staples of pro wrestling, like Danielson, like CM Punk, like a Samoa Joe. Like, you think about their heyday, they really are kind of like the George Seifert of wrestling. That branch extended. Nice
NFL reference. There you go.
The branch extended, and now it's sad because we've already seen kind of survive. And this is like a football term, administration, where they just ran out of money. And we've seen them survive once, and they came back stronger, and in fact, even better, I think, than before.
Yeah.
I don't know if they can do it again, and if they do, how is it going to look?
Yeah,
but, there's a big void that's going to be left to fill. I think MLW might be the best in line to kind of take over, with the way things are going. But again, it's all about TV deals and being seen by enough people.
That's true. That's true. That'll do it for this week's Sports Guys Talking Wrestling. You can follow Justin the Smash Simmons on Twitter, Instagram, and Twitch at The Smash Simmons. You can follow me on Twitter and Instagram at Stu Myrick. That's STEWMYRICK. You can follow the show on Twitter and Twitch at SGTWATX. You can find us on Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube at Sports Guys Talking Wrestling. We live stream on YouTube and Twitch most Tuesday nights at 7:30 p.m. Central, or you can catch us Wednesday nights at 9 p.m. Central on the flagship station for the Texas Longhorns and your radio home in Austin for the Dallas Cowboys. We are The Horn, 104.9 and 101.9 FM and AM 1260. Or you can catch us anytime on demand by either going to hornfm.com and click on the on-air tab, or by subscribing to us on your favorite podcast platform. Make sure you rate and review us while you're there. Huge thanks to Justin Bissonnette for joining us, and huge thanks to you for giving us a little bit of your time tonight. For Justin, I'm Stu. Thanks so much, and we will see you at the matches.
Goodbye and good night. Bang!
And there we go. Meanwhile, Zion Quinn is beating up on Santos Escobar. But you know Santos Escobar will probably win because, Legado del Fantasma is, dastardly.
But who's this big dude now?
Zion Quinn. I don't know. I think he actually has some wrestling experience.
I know, but I'm assuming that he's like related to somebody. He looks like he would be related to some wrestler.
Well, we've had the one guy that's like the other Uso brother, I guess.
Oh yeah, that's right. That's
Solo Sakai.
Sakai.
Yeah, Solo Sakai.
Yeah, he's just a Uso.
But this guy, I think he's got some wrestling experience, but I don't know like from where. So, yeah. It's good to talk to Biss. Like I say, it'll be good to see him on Sunday. I got a busy Sunday too. I actually have a work thing on Sunday.
For real?
It's so for those of you, I work in my primary role in my full-time job is licensing and regulation of athletic trainers. And Texas was the first state to license athletic trainers when the law was passed in 1971. Well, this year marks 50 years that athletic trainers have been licensed by the state of Texas.
And you had the job for that long?
I have not had the job for that long.
Man.
No.
I'm joking.
No. So I will be at a celebration of that Sunday afternoon, early afternoon. So I'll go from that to Yellow Jacket Social Club for Inspire A.D. I assume I'm doing commentary with Eamon Payton, our my usual partner on Inspire commentary. And then after that, the girlfriend and I are going to Peppermint Parkway, the Christmas.
Where's that?
That's the Christmas thing out at Circuit of the Americas.
Ah,
so they got lights.
That's the one in Coda.
Along the track, and you get to drive the track. And
that's the reason to go right there is at least drive on the track.
Yeah, you get to drive on the track. Now, you're only doing like 15 miles an hour. It's not like 150 like Lewis Hamilton or somebody. But
I mean, I would pay to take my car out there and just drive it as fast as I could, though. A regular car.
Yeah, I'm not going to do that. But yeah, it should be fun. So, but it's going to be a busy Sunday to say the least. So, plus Saturday, Lake Travis and Galena Park North Shore, 3 p.m. from the Palace on Palmer, and you'll hear that on 104.9 FM. Lake Travis has not had the best of luck against North Shore.
Nope.
Lost to them. Back-to-back semifinals in 2018 and 2019. Lost to him in the championship in 15? I think that was in Houston. I think that was against North Shore.
I know they beat Westlake before for the championship.
But yeah, we'll see what happens. It might be over for Lake Travis this weekend, or we plan a trip to Arlington this week.
Now that you said that, no, I'm just gonna carry on now.
Yeah, you know. So yeah, that's this Saturday. So check us out on the Horn on 104.9 FM. Mark Honig, Bucky Godbolt in the booth. I'll be on the sidelines, and or you can watch it on Texan Live through Dave Campbell's Texas Football.
Oh,
so,
they have it.
Yeah, because they're one of the streaming. They're the streaming partner for Lake Travis.
Okay, because a lot of them are going to be on national NFHS. A lot of the
I think Texan Live is part of that. No, they're not.
No, because even the guys on Twitter that I follow that are with them, they were like, "Oh, does anybody know who has the streams for so many different of the playoff games? Because this is what, the semifinal? Yeah,
this will be the state semifinals.
Yeah.
I know Westlake has their own stream, so Westlake and Katy. I want to say it's like westlakenation.com or something like that.
But did they get the rights to the game? That's just it. Like, I don't know if anybody.
I assume they do, because I mean they're doing the radio broadcast too. So
yeah,
it's Joe Taylor. I think they do everything for Westlake.
Yeah, but I mean, like, the streaming rights are completely different.
Well, I'm going to assume Joe Taylor does this since he's done it before.
Yeah, that's one thing. I'm just saying, like the Texan Live thing, they didn't even get the streaming rights, so I don't know who has the streaming rights to the game. But he has like the
semifinal. Well, they have the rights to Lake Travis and North Shore. I know that. Yeah. So now next week, of course, you know the championships will all be on Valley Sports Southwest. So next week, Braun Breaker versus Roderick Strong next week on NXT 2.0.
I'm down for that.
That should be fun.
I'm digging Braun Breaker.
Well,
you saw him bust out that Frankensteiner?
Yeah.
I mean, he's the real deal. Athletically, he really is a giant.
Sure he is. Yeah. So, all right, we're going to sign off for now. Again, thanks to everybody that watched and listened. And again, if you can, make it out to Yellow Jacket Social Club for Inspire After Dark this Sunday at 3 p.m. Should be a fun card. But for now, for Justin,